everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Cassandra from Craftably Ever After, and as always I'm very glad to be chatting to you guys today. If you are new here, welcome to the channel. If you haven't done so and you would like to hang around for a bit, press that subscribe button. It's absolutely free to subscribe. Subscribing just means that you will see anytime that a new video pops up when I released one. To all of you who've been with me for a while, welcome back. It's a lovely yarny family that I look forward to chatting to every single week. All right, you guys. Now today's video, as you would have seen from the description, is the hashtag amigurumi book tag started by my friend Crystal over at Chronically Crocheting. Now she emailed me a couple of months ago already. Said she had this idea for a book tag. What do I think? Would I be able to do it? Do you think other people would be able to do it? And I thought it was a brilliant idea. All of us are inspired by each other, and all of us like to inspire other people. You know, a lot of my books I purchase because I see them on other people's channels. So as I said, we are all here for each other, and we are here to inspire, give ideas, tell you what we think of certain books. And this tag specifically, as it's in the hashtag, is an amigurumi book tag. So I didn't include any books where there were other patterns. For instance, I've got this lovely Harry Potter crochet book, but the majority of it is not amigurumi. So I didn't include that book in my total count. Now, I am a passionate amigurumi maker, and this is my main craft in life. So I am on a mission to collect every single amigurumi book out there, and it might take me my entire life, but I am happy to go about it one book at a time. So I've collected a fair few in total. Now I'm now digressing a bit, but I'm going back to sort of Crystal's original tag, and she has some questions. How many books have you got? Which ones have you made something from? The ones that you didn't make something from, do you plan to make something from it? Why didn't you? How many have you got? All sorts of different questions. And I will go through them as I show you my books. Now, hopefully this video will not be 100 hours long. I will try to be quick about it, because as soon as I turn record on my phone, I just love chatting to you all. But anyway, let me get into my amigurumi books. Now, I did write some of it down because I can't remember everything. Now, just to let you know that apart from the books I've got a number of electronic books, because when I lived back in South Africa, it wasn't always easy to get physical hard copies of the books. It's not as easy as since I've been living in Denmark. I mean, I can order just about anything off Amazon. In South Africa, that wasn't exactly the case. So for a lot of times, I had to buy the ebook. Since coming to Denmark, I've sort of replaced some of the ebooks with physical copies, or I've added to them the physical copies. But there's a few books that I still only have an ebook from. And that is, looks like 4. So I've got, apart from the physical books, I've still got 4 ebooks as well. Now they are included in the total. And I will tell you, because out of the 4, one of them I have made patterns from. The others I have not made patterns from. So I will tell you when I get to those specific categories. All right, let's kick it off. My total number of amigurumi books, and I was fairly disappointed actually at this number, because I thought I had more, but I have got 26 purely amigurumi books. Now I will start with the books that I've made something from, and in that pile I've got 13. So out of my 26 books, 13 I've made patterns from, 13 I've not made anything from. But I will get to them when I get to them. Let's start with the books I love the absolute most out of my have made something from them before pile, and it is Animal Friends of PeekaBow. Now I have got book number 1, I have got book number 2 and I have got book number 3. Now, you guys, I've mentioned it in a video before that if anyone had to like force me to choose one crochet book, I would choose one of the PeekaBow books. I find them fantastic. I love the personality of the characters. Like the first half of the book easily is just techniques. So it's a very, very, very good book, I would personally say, for beginners, because it covers everything. It covers types of stitches. It covers all the various different stitches. It covers color changes. I don't know, she's got a ton of things. So for instance, these are just some of the very cute patterns. Now out of this one, my favorite one has been, I can't get to him, this little crocodile. I've made him many, many, many times, or an alligator. I've made this gazelle. I've made this bear a number of times. What else have I made from this one? I don't think I've made anyone else from this book, but this one I've made multiples of. This one I've only made one of. But just to show you, like this part, all of this, which is a fair amount of the book, is just techniques. And what's nice is she starts off the patterns with an easy level pattern. So for instance, the very first pattern in the book is this little pig. There's just some basic color changes, nothing strange on him. And then as you progress, she adds techniques to the toys. And which is why I love this book, because it's not just a random bunch of difficult patterns. She starts you off easy, and then you progress with a new technique almost on every pattern. Now, PeekaBow number 2, from this one I have made, and it's one that I want to make again sometime. I've made the lion. Let me just get to the front. Okay, so out of this book I've made this monkey, I've made the sloth, I've made this lion, and here and there, if I can, I will pop a picture somewhere on the screen of some of the projects I've made from the various books. This lion I absolutely loved. He turned out super adorable, but that mane, I think he's here on the front, that mane takes 1 billion years to make. It felt like it. I'm telling you, it felt like it took that long. It's an incredible yarn hog, so you use a massive amount of yarn, because it's in every stitch is something like chain 10, slip stitch, chain 10, slip. It was just, this was something else to make. I'm telling you, but once he was done, he was absolutely fantastic. And then out of this book, which was the most recent one I got towards the end of last year, you would have seen I made the little polar bear from him, from the book. And I've also made the seagull. Oh, this one I definitely want to make. And I've been watching a fellow yarn friend here on YouTube. She's recently, like she's been, I think, commenting and watching my channel for a number of months. Cheryl, she's got a YouTube channel. I think it's Curly Moose. Very, very lovely lady. I will pop a channel down below if you guys want to go and give her some yarny love. But she's busy making this hen, which I think is absolutely fantastic. So I do want to make this hen at some point as well. So my first 3 books on the list, Animal Friends of PeekaBow. I highly, highly recommend these books. These have been my favorite amigurumi books ever. Like, they are top. They share the first spot. So they are not first, second, third. They are all first. I love I love them. I absolutely love these books. All right, next book I've made something from is the Mini Kingdom books. Not books, book. She's got various patterns on Etsy. You can buy a lot of the patterns as single patterns from Etsy. I have made this wizard, and I've made, I think, the chef. Now, I don't know, I'm not going to be able to find him. I should have marked it. Ah, here it is. This little chef. So I made the wizard and the chef. They both were very adorable. But this book is not beginner friendly. So even though it looks like very quick and easy patterns, they are not quick and easy. I have made patterns from PeekaBow books that took me quicker than making these little ones because they are super, super detailed. So for most of these patterns, I would say intermediate or higher. So if you are just beginning to learn crochet, you've never picked up a hook in your life, this is probably not a book I would recommend to start off with. Definitely, if you are comfortable with making amigurumi, they do turn out super, super cute. And there are a ton of patterns in this book. I don't know if there's a place in here where they actually show all of it, because they're in little sections. The book is divided in little sections. I will show you. For instance, look at this cute photo. So they've got a photo, so it's like sort of a marketplace looking photo, and then all of these patterns are then like in the following few pages. So it's broken up into like little sections of patterns. So it's definitely, I find, worth the money. I don't know what I paid for all of these. I can't remember. But definitely this was, for me, worth the money. Definitely worth having in your collection, but not beginner friendly. The next book, and you guys will know how I feel about this if you are following our Hooked on Books series that I'm doing with my friend Caroline over at For the Love of Crochet. I've spoken about this book before. Lula and her amigurumi friends, a fantastically beautiful book, which I will never make something from again, because I found it super, super challenging. And I would classify myself as further than intermediate, almost an advanced amigurumi maker. And I struggled. I made this guy, and it was just, I didn't mesh with this book. So another book I would absolutely advise for your amigurumi library. It's got the most amazing photos in it. I mean, her photos, oh, there goes a little page. The photos are lovely. The descriptions are lovely. But it's not a pattern. It's not small, quick amigurumi. So if you want to spend a fair amount of time making amigurumis, this is the book for you. Super cute. Honestly, I cannot say anything wrong with the patterns. They are written wonderfully. It's just not a book for me. And that's that. All right. This book, Dress Me Up Amigurumi. Now, the reason I bought this book is because I've made numerous of the bear, but not the specific bear, like the basic bear like this. So I've made the basic bear a number of times, and I've also got the pattern for this reindeer, or for the deer, although I've not made the deer yet. So I've got the loose patterns for the bear and the deer, and I've made a number of the bear. I've really enjoyed working on this. Now this one, for instance, just to show you, this is just when we arrived in Denmark. I brought a bunch of yarn in my suitcase with me from South Africa. So this was my usual acrylic DK that I always work with in South Africa. And I made a little, we arrived here in November 2020, and I knew I wasn't going to work for a while, and it was just before Christmas, and I knew I had to find something to do. So I had the yarn with me, and I made this bear during that end of 2020, just as we arrived in Denmark. And this is based on the bear pattern. So what I love about the book is that you get the basic pattern for an elephant, a bear, a deer, and a little dog. And then inside there's various outfits. Now some of the outfits can be removed, like for instance if you have a look at this little jacket that this one is wearing, this is sort of the pattern that I used on this one, although I just didn't make the sleeves long. You can still attach it. So there are certain pieces of the patterns that you can't take on and off, but for the majority of them, parts of their outfit you actually crochet as part of the toy. So for instance, for this Christmas version, this blue is not a separate sweater. So you would crochet the blue as part of the body, and then you can do a separate little jacket or a scarf or a hat or something with it. So there's quite a few outfits, but honestly the reason I bought this one is so that I had the base patterns of 4 lovely animals. Like I said, they are lovely. I didn't find any problems working with this pattern at all. I've made this one. I've made a very cute sort of COVID-19 version for my dad in early 2020. I will pop a picture up here somewhere. That bear came out super adorable. So I really enjoy making these ones. And I just bought the book so that I actually just had some ideas and then the base patterns for all 4. So this one, definitely highly recommend the book, even if it's just to have 4 amazing animal patterns. The next one is Aquaticomegurumi. Again, not a book that I would in the least describe as beginner friendly. It's not. It's very detailed, but they are fantastic patterns. Now I've made the this little I've made this cute guy from him. I'm busy with another pattern that I will show you in a future video. So I'm actually busy with this book at the moment, doing another pattern from it. So I really enjoy working from this book. They are super detailed. They are incredibly beautiful once you've made them. They are so colorful. I wonder if I can, I don't think there's a photo. Oh, there's a small one of all of them. So here's just a teeny view. So they've got a lot of patterns in them. Super adorable, not beginner friendly, but in my opinion, an absolute must-have book. They are incredibly adorable amigurumi. Colorful. They definitely stand out. I love working from this book. Next one, Snuggle and Play Crochet. This is the book from the lady who has the 1 and 2 Company crochet shop on Etsy. This one I would definitely say is a beginner friendly book. I tested it out because a lot of people spoke about it, and there were some concerns about the patterns or the way it was constructed. I can't remember what it was. So I bought this book just to test out the patterns. And you would remember from a previous video, I did this cute little reindeer, and obviously I did the bear. I absolutely loved making it. They were, in my opinion, super beginner friendly. What's nice with this book, apart from the fact that you get quite a number of animals in them, you get a lovey version, so you get different types of loveys that you can make, and then you get the full amigurumi version. So it's sort of a 2-in-1 for every animal. I loved it working with this book, and for easy, quick, beginner friendly patterns, I would definitely recommend this one. Next, a book, I've actually got 2 books, I'm waiting for the 3rd one to come out, is the Crochet Iconic Woman. And together with that one, I'm going to group the Crochet Zodiac Dolls, because it's from the same author, Kayla Matrani. She is Amufu Crochet. So she has got a ton of amigurumi patterns on Etsy, single patterns that you can buy of various famous people and literary figures and movie figures. It's just amazing how this lady comes up with these adorable patterns that you can sort of fairly easily recognize. Now from this book, I've made Cleopatra. I've got her here. I will show you. So this was a bit of an older make. It was also with my DK yarn from South Africa. So I did Cleopatra. I did Jane Austen. Now sorry, I just took them out of their little storage container this morning, so they're all a bit squished. This is Jane Austen because Jane Austen is one of my favorite authors. I've also made Florence Nightingale. I've made Queen Elizabeth. And there's quite a few more that I want to make. And there's a second book of the Iconic Women that's coming out, or it's out already, I'm not exactly sure, but I will definitely buy the second book. These patterns are not difficult. So the base of the body for all of them are sort of the same. And what's nice is towards the end, she sort of gives you this page, which is make your own icon. So she sort of explains to you how to do a basic body, different hair, so that you can sort of make up your own doll. So if you've got something specific you want to make that's not part of any of the books, you can use the base body and sort of add your own hair color and add your own clothes and, you know, just adapt some of the patterns that's inside here. So this one, and then this one, I've made the Scorpio girl, which was Jessica's birth sign is the Scorpio. So I made this girl, came out super adorable. So these books, if you're a beginner, I think you would be able to manage it. They are not overly complicated dolls. They are a bit fiddly because they are small. As you can see, this is made with a DK yarn, and she is still, you know, she's got, the legs are fairly small, the arms are very small, especially if you have to do color changes within like small sections. That's a bit fiddly, but overall, as you can see, not like a ton of different details on them. I really enjoyed making dolls from these books. I highly recommend the Crochet Iconic Women books. Then Crochet Donut Buddies. Now this one I saw on Rebecca from Yarn and Pajamas. She has this, she showed this book months and months. I don't know how long ago it was. I bought it instantly because I thought they were so cute. I've made a number of the donuts from there. This is just one that I can show you, the little bear donut. I really enjoyed making them. They were very, very quick and easy to do. Now there are a few of them that are a bit more intricate than the others. For instance, if you look at this toucan, he definitely has a few color changes and a few bits and pieces that you are going to have to work onto him. But overall, like, they've got the same base pattern, and then which is in the front of the book, and then they tell you how to change colors or what colors to use for whatever character you're doing afterwards. All right, so before I go on to the next one, I do recommend this book. I found it incredibly quick and easy. They're very quick to make and they're cute. I love it. I love making them. The last book, and this is one of my favorites, so where the Animal Friends of PeekaBow takes my #1 spot, this one is a very close second. I have made recently this bunny. I have made the bear, Boris the bear, you remember him. This was like a Christmas version. I actually also made a Christmas hat for him, and I did a Halloween version that I've actually given away. So I made this bear a couple of times. I've made the bunny. I've made the squirrel. So this book, if you are a beginner crocheter, I highly, highly recommend this book. A number of us here on YouTube, also a brilliant idea by Crystal, she did a mini crochet along, and a lot of YouTubers joined. A lot of you guys just joined as well. So this book, I think, has now been thoroughly tested. And I think every one of us who's made a pattern from this book loved it. So this book is an absolute must for your amigurumi library. All right, so those were the 13 books. No, I lie. There's one more book, and that's one of my ebooks, which is Amigurumi Treasures. Amigurumi Treasures 1, because I've got both of them. But I've made a pattern, and I'll pop a picture of what the Amigurumi Treasures 1 book looks like. I've made, I think, a few patterns from this one. I know I did the little ladybug, although I made it into a bee. And I did, I think there's a giraffe in there that I also did. So I really enjoyed the Amigurumi Treasures book. It's not difficult, they're very cute patterns. Which is why I've got the second book as well. And I had such a good laugh when Julie over at Kay's Mom Crochets, she's also got the Amigurumi Treasures 1 and 2. And she spoke about how on the front of the book, she bought the book because she wanted to make the cute bear on the front. I bought the book for the exact same reason, because I wanted to make the bear, only to find that it's actually a bee. Amigurumi Treasures 1, that's part of my 13 books that I've made something from. On to the books that I've never made anything from, so I cannot tell you how they are, if they're beginner friendly, how the patterns are written, I don't know, but I will show you the rest of my collection. So I've got Unicorns, Dragons and Fantasy Creatures 1 and 2. So I've got both of them. I can't remember, I think I got the books on a sale, but I did really want them. They've got adorable patterns, both of them. So I think I would like to make some of these patterns. I'm not sure when. My to-do list is extremely long, and I keep adding to it every single day. This one, you guys, Once Upon a Time in Crochet. Now, my brother, bless him, he knows that I crochet, but that is the extent of his knowledge regarding crochet. And he always tries to get me something crochet related. So they did a fantastic job. He got me this book. Now, they live in the UK. I've mentioned it before. This book I got from him about 6 years ago. So my parents regularly go and visit my brother in the UK. Then my brother always sends, they send gifts back for us. This was one of the gifts they sent about 6 years ago, this book. And then 2 years ago, just when we moved to Denmark, they posted us a bunch of Christmas gifts, and they sent me the same book again. So I've actually got 2 of these books, and one of them will be in some or other giveaway coming up very soon. Now, the reason I have not made anything from this book, although the patterns are really cute, it is written in UK terms. Now, I have made patterns that is written in UK terms, but I find it a bit of a schlep to keep concentrating that a double crochet is actually a single or a treble is a double. This is the only reason I've not made anything from this book. So as you can see, look at those cute little duckies. So the patterns in here are very cute. I just have not yet been in the mood to do a pattern in UK terms. So that's this one. I've got 2 of them. Zumi Gurumi Favorites. This one you would have seen. I got this one for Christmas. I haven't made anything from it yet, but this one I'm sure I will be using very soon. The Zumi Gurumi books, there's quite a few of them. Now, this is one of the other books that I've not worked from, but that I have in an ebook, and it is Zumi Gurumi One. I actually thought I didn't have any Zumi Gurumi books, but last year sometime, I think amigurumi.com, who sort of publishes these books, or I don't know what's their affiliation, but they sort of promote these Zumi Gurumi books. They had a birthday or a giveaway or something last year, and you could put in your email and they sent you for free the ebook for Zumi Gurumi One. So I've got Zumi Gurumi One as an ebook, not made anything from it. And then I've got Zumi Gurumi Favorites. Now, I'm not sure, I do like the look of the books and I would like to collect them. But that's also for some time in the future. For now, I'm happy to have the favorites. Then, also on a trip that my parents took to the UK, they brought me back this one, Beetle, Bugs and Butterflies by Lala. And although I've made many of her patterns as single patterns that I've bought from Etsy, I've not made a single pattern from this adorable book. Now, what's very cute about this book, it's actually a bit of a story. So the whole front part of the book is like a story, like a little children's story that consists of all of the little characters that you can make. So this book is very cute. The next book, you guys, and you will not believe me when I show you this book. I cannot pronounce it. And you ask why? Because it's in French. Yes, I bought a book that is written in French. This book came out last year, the end of last year somewhere. And I was extremely annoyed that this book is not available in English. So I was so annoyed that I went ahead and bought it, because just look at this girl on the front. I mean, I had to have this book. Here are some of the characters you can see in the back. I also wanted it for this one. Now this is also Kayla, the lady from the iconic Crochet Woman. So there are some fantastic patterns in this book. And okay, Christmas got away from me a bit last year. My plate was a bit full. I didn't get to making any of them. But I'm willing to sit with Google Translate and translate these patterns for myself, because I'm going to make this girl this year with that little gingerbread man and all of it. I absolutely loved this book. It is so, so cute. It's by a lot of famous designers that you would know from Instagram. But anyway, just look at this one. So I was so upset that they are not bringing out this book in English. And a lot of people, as it was advertised, said, please, are you doing this book in English? And everyone said they don't know, they don't think so. So I went ahead and grabbed the French version. Yes. So we will see how that goes. Now, the following book, you guys, and this is another story. Not Monsters, Potted Plant Edition, 12 Amigurumi Crochet Patterns by Michael. I don't know what his surname is. This is him. He's also quite big on Instagram. Now, he's got a load of these little books. So he's got one with balloon animals and flowers and organs and I don't know what else. He's got a ton of these little books. Now, I saw the book on Amazon. It popped up on my recommended books, I don't know, many times. And I thought it was super cute. I wanted to try making these plants because they were quite big at some stage and everyone was making some on the crochet plant. I ordered the book, and when it came, oh, you guys, I'm such a book snob. I didn't like the look of the book, which is why I haven't made anything from it. It's this thin little book. There's nothing wrong with the patterns, but it's like this thin little book, and you can't compare it with something like this. You just cannot. And I don't think this was specifically cheap. Like it wasn't the most expensive book I own, by no means. It was definitely a bit more reasonably priced. But once I got the book, it's like this tiny little book. I just felt zero inspiration to make anything from it. And I've had this book for close on a year. So this is why I haven't made anything from it, you guys, because I'm a book snob and I feel awful. I feel awful about it. So if any one of you have made any of the patterns from any of these Not Monsters books, so it's called, I think his name is Not Monsters, and it's got adorable patterns. There's nothing, absolutely nothing in the world wrong with these patterns. I'm a book snob. Anyway, on to the next book. This one, My Crochet Doll. Now, this book I bought because it gives you a base doll, like a basic doll that you can make. And then it's got all of these adorable outfits that you can make with it. Let me show you. Where's this cute photo where she's like in the Arctic or something. I mean, look at this cute little bear one. You see, so you have the basic doll, and then they give you the pattern for the outfits. So you've got this little bear outfit. You've got a little Red Riding Hood outfit. You've got, what was there? Let me just show you one or two more because they are fantastic. Superhero outfit. Where's that one where she's like in the Arctic? Oh, now of course I can't find it. I don't know where it is. Oh, there's one where she's eating like apples. Isn't that cute? Look at those little overalls. And here it is. I love this one. Look at that cute little fluffy outfit. So this one, again, I think the problem was that it is in UK terms, and I didn't know this until I got the book. So I do still plan to make something from it because the patterns do look really written really well. There's a very large variety. They've got a nice big section on techniques. And obviously I've got a lot of adorable outfits. So this one, I haven't made anything from it, but I think I will because I do like this book. This one I got because of Loma Mama Kayla. She showed this on her channel. Again, it's like a tiny thin little book with gnomes in it. Now, I cannot explain it. I don't know why I don't want to work from these books. Why is that? Because the patterns are cute. I thought the book was going to be thicker. I don't know. And the patterns, I definitely will make some of these gnomes. I mean, look at these cute little Valentine's gnomes. So I will make it, but you guys, don't judge me. I'm telling you, I'm a book snob and I hate admitting it. Oh, is it really bad to admit it? Anyway, last book, last physical book. Sweet crochet friends, I haven't made anything from this book. Although I love koalas, so I definitely will make the koala. I absolutely, they are my favorite animal. And it comes from a time when I spent a year in Australia as an exchange student back in 1997. And I've got such wonderful memories from being in Australia. But a koala is just my absolute favorite animal. So this one I'm definitely going to make. And then my last, which is an ebook. What have I got? Zumi Gurumi Treasures #2. I didn't make anything from. Zumi Gurumi One. And Amigurumi Fairy Tales. I didn't make anything from. I'll pop a picture of that book here. I still want to get the actual book because they've got fantastic photos. They've got very cute and very easy patterns in it. But I haven't made. I've made 3/4 of the Snow White from it. But something happened and I never finished it. So technically I've not really made anything from this book. But there you have it. 13 books I've used. 13 books I haven't used. Many more books that I want. I just get tired just thinking about everything I want to make now that I've seen these books again. It's something when they're in your, like in a cupboard and you don't see these books. But when you take them out again and you page through them, they're fantastic. All right, you guys, I've taken up 40 minutes of your time. I'm so sorry for this super long video. I'm stopping it right here. Let me know what is your favorite amigurumi book. If you can give me one book recommendation, like if there's one book, if someone said you can only keep one single amigurumi book in your collection, let me know what that would be. I am very interested to know. All right, friends, that's it for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you're still here 40 minutes later, You guys are fantastic. Thank you for hanging out with me, for coming along every week, listening to me chat. Pop some comments, like I said, one book recommendation. Let's hear what it is. All right, friends, I will see you in the next video. Stay safe and stay crafty.